6 yards room and then ran past him. A lot of running backs will get up on a defensive back and then make the move, and they can't get past him.
You should know you were an NFL running back for many good years in the league.
Thank you.
You know, there was another, that was kind of a miraculous play. Here's another miraculous play. The miracle at the Meadowlands, November 1978, Eagles and Giants. That's Herman Edwards with 31 seconds left, picking it up, returning at 26 yards for the winning touchdown as the Eagles beat the Giants 19-17. We talked to Herm yesterday about that. He said Dick Vermeil didn't even see the botched handoff, nor the fumble. All he saw was just the last 5 yards of the run.
He said all the team kept running right past me. He said, Vermeil said all the guys were running past me. Like, he goes, what's wrong? What happened?
Yeah, because he was so distraught over, thinking about overtime or thinking about a loss or thinking about whatever. And here comes the kickoff by Hall. Again, it's a line drive boot, which is going to go out of bounds at about the 21-yard line. And so they'll put him up at the 40. The Chiefs will have a couple timeouts with which to work. The wind has been a factor today, and there was a penalty on that because he kicked it out of bounds. I am guessing these are designed kickoffs by both teams. Hall in particular has had the majority of the kickoffs today.
Yeah, you don't have
drives, bouncing kicks.
Yeah, if you kick it off high, you get a real good chance of this thing just floating, them coming up and catching it, running right past your coverage.
Chiefs now only have 2 timeouts. There was an injury, remember, to Eric Hicks inside 2 minutes. That is a timeout taken off the board. And the handoff goes to Holmes. The lead block ahead from Shields, and he plows his way up to the 47. It's a gain of 7 yards on the play, bringing up 2nd down and 3. Well, tonight on CBS, don't miss the I Love Lucy 50th anniversary special with never-before-seen footage and a countdown of the top 10 funniest episodes. Join some of Hollywood's biggest stars as they share their favorite Lucy memories on the I Love Lucy 50th anniversary special tonight on CBS. That was a mainstay on the CBS network.
I'm smiling just watching that. You know what? I still watch, if I can, I Love Lucy.
Wasn't she voted the funniest female comedian of all time?
One of the originals.
Yeah, she was.
Really, the original.
Vivian Vance on that show. Desi Arnaz. Fred Mertz. I don't know what his name was in real life. I just know his name was Fred Mertz.
And I bet everybody called him Fred, too.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. All right, the Chiefs have burned a timeout. 1 left, 2nd down and 3. Shy of their own 47. Down 14-0 and 2. Martin rushing touchdowns. Good time for Green. Fires a pass downfield. Almost picked off again. This time by Glenn on a pass intended for the Chiefs' Larry Parker. Again, we have not seen Derek Alexander, the fragile Alexander, injured and hasn't played last couple games, but is active today.
And you see how Aaron Glenn takes the wise angle back to the football. Parker keeps just going deeper. He's got to come back to it. Larry Parker kept going on a kind of a bleeding route. And Aaron Glenn, the old veteran, came underneath and almost had a pick.
Glenn had a nice interception in the end zone last week in New Orleans. 3rd down and 3 at about the 47 for the Chiefs. Shotgun snap. Abraham is blocked. Time for Green outside to Holmes, who rushes out of bounds, shy of the 1st down. Picks up about a yard. He's near the 48. Has to get to the 50. Chiefs with a timeout and 7 seconds on the 2nd quarter clock. Look at Trent Green, 2 interceptions he has thrown today, and the Chiefs are going to punt.
That wasn't very good. That's serious.
Green has played here before. You think the wind in this stadium would confuse a quarterback. He played here, a couple times. In fact, 6 or 7 times in his career. Played for the Redskins, of course. So he's had experience with this field, with this wind, and with the ambiance of this stadium. Here's Krasinski's punt. And the wind will push this over the head of Chad Morton. Landing inside the 11-yard line. 42-yard punt. And that will take us to halftime. So 2 is the number right now. Trent Green has thrown 2 interceptions. Herman Edwards has gotten 2 rushing touchdowns from his sensational running back, Curtis Martin. The Jets trail the Miami Dolphins by a half game in the AFC East, as Herman Edwards is trying to win again. He won at Carolina on the road. He won at New Orleans on the road, trying to make it 3 in a row. And this is a pivotal game for the Jets. It really is in light of what happened last week.
You know what we've seen here by the Jets is an offensive and defensive performance in the first half, which is what they have not been able to put together.
Good point. Downstairs we go to Beasley Reese.
All right, I'm with Coach. Coach, your second interception by Trent cost you that last touchdown. Any concern, something you're going to say to him?
Well, he was going to go down the seam. We had a guy going down the seam, and he got hit. Our offensive tackle got shoved into him, and it took all the steam off the throw. So he had no power on it, so he underthrows it.
Okay, what are you going to say to the guys getting ready to
Well, we're only 2 plays out of this thing right now, and they had the one nice drive. And I think we let the wind bother us a little too much in that first quarter, and we'll try to get a better blend, run and pass here in the second half and go play.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, Beasley, thank you. And we are at halftime at sold-out Giant Stadium with the Jets shutting out the Chiefs 14-0.
CBS Monday. Catch comedy that's out of this world.
The King of Queens. The produce alone is worth the trip.
An all-new episode. Then, Jimmy gives his son a whole new look.
Hey, looks like a Duke of Hazzard.
Yes, dear. Next, Ray's son is hitting the hoops.
I think he wants to use the bathroom.
No, that's just how he runs. And on Becker, how do you save a man at the end of his rope?
You're a good-looking guy.
This is a really bad time for me to start a new relationship.
Great. I'd rather hang himself than go out with you.
All new comedy, CBS Monday.
CSI, Thursday on CBS. It's all here.
To help keep America rolling, here's an important announcement from your local Pontiac dealer. Until November 18th, Pontiac will offer qualified buyers 0% APR GMAC financing on every new 2001 and 2002 model. Every Grand Am, Grand Prix, Sunfire, Montana, every Aztec, Firebird, and Bonneville. Interest-free financing on every new Pontiac. In a small way, it's our way of saying, let's keep America rolling. See your local Pontiac dealer for details.
Recently at this quiet, unassuming little Pizza Hut, an interesting pizza discovery took place. Whoa! We've created the new Ultimate Lovers Pizzas from Pizza Hut. Our Lovers Pizzas now with 6 kinds of luscious cheese and 6 different kinds of seriously satisfying meat toppings, or 5 garden veggies, or 2 layers of zesty pepperoni. And you'll discover it's not $12.99, it's only $8.99. $8.99. The new Ultimate Lovers Pizzas, only from Pizza Hut.
In Metro Kansas City, now you can order online at www.pizzahut.com.
Leading the way, Ford's leading the way.
Your Ford dealers want to drive America with absolutely no interest loans on Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. For the first time ever, pay no interest on Ford vehicles. That's interest-free financing on cars like Focus and Taurus, trucks like Ranger and F-Series, and no interest on Ford SUVs. Interest-free financing from your Midwest Ford dealers to help drive America.
Catch the early show now at 5 a.m. on KCTV5.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Nextel Halftime Report. Blue skies here in New York today. Jim Nance with you from our NFL Today studios. And Mike Ditka, Randy Cross, Jerry Glanville here. Martin, twice to the end zone, Jerry.
You got the 14 points, but really you got to talk about the Jets' offensive line. Jet offensive line is controlling the line of scrimmage. And look at Kansas City. They have 2 interceptions and a total, at halftime, 93 yards for the Chiefs. That's bad. There'll be a lot of crying in the locker room.
For the Chiefs. I'll tell you what, Marshall Faulk alone has doubled that yardage. We're going to have that story in a minute. First, though, around the NFL today, Dolphins, 2 long scoring strikes. Fiedler connecting on one of them. Mike, you've been watching this one.
It's just a game of big plays, Jim, and then 2nd and 9, Miami running back Travis Minor. Outside, no containment. He gets the corner, bad tackle by Chad Cota, the safety there, and he's in for the touchdown. 56 yards.
Didn't you have Chad Cota?
I had him, but not long. Here comes Manning right back to Harrison, and it makes the score 10-7. But watch this play right here. Don't understand it, but Chandler is wide open. First career NFL touchdown for Chris Chambers, rather.
That was just 3 plays after the Harrington touchdown strike, and the big story there is Dominique Rhodes in for James, a subluxation of his left shoulder, and looking very doubtful he'll see much action the rest of the way. How about the Patriots-Bills, Randy?
You know, sometimes a team has to find out who they are and what they are. And what this Patriots team is, offensively, they're about Tom Brady making plays any way he can, like a great catch by Kevin Faulk. Defensively, they're about smacking people around. Give Rob Johnson credit. He's been sacked twice already this half, but he still gets a big pass to Remisma. They get a field goal. It's 7-3, but this team in New England is about defense.
All right, and at Cleveland, the teams are walking off the field right now, and the Browns will go to the locker room with a 9-6 lead. Steelers had not allowed a point all season long in the first quarter. Browns got up 9-0 in that first quarter.
Well, they got up 2-0 right here. This is hard to believe, but Orpheus Roy gets into the backfield and stops the bus before he gets out of the end zone. That's 2 points, a safety. After the ensuing kickoff, the Browns get up around midfield. They move it downfield a little bit. Now watch this play right here. O.J. Santiago from Tim Couch. Touchdown, 9-0 lead at this point.
9-6 now, halftime at Cleveland. Cincinnati already having matched its win total of a year ago down in Jacksonville, and they have come from behind here after a Mack touchdown burst.
Well, Mark Brunell is a sitting duck for the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's why it's good for them to get a Stacey Mack touchdown, get some action on the ground, and take some of the pressure off Mark Brunell. But, hey, let's be honest, Cincinnati Bengals, what you have Corey Dillon. And you run the ball with Corey Dillon. Mike, you talked about it in the pregame show, and that's what they're doing.
Meanwhile, at Chicago, the Packers won the last 7 games at Soldier Field, and the Packers lead at 10-6 in that most played rivalry in league history. Tampa Bay and Detroit, the winless Lions, down 10 here. Warwick Dunn with a touchdown for the Bucs. Carolina against the Rams, and look at this, 31-7. And what a day it has been for Marshall Faulk. 192 yards rushing in his return today. It got you excited, didn't it?
You're talking about at halftime.
Yeah, I'm talking about at halftime.
That's a
career.
career.
Record's 278. He's got a chance at it today. Wow. And finally, the Cowboys with Leaf at quarterback just got to hook up with Jackie Harris for a touchdown and the lead with 55 seconds to go in the second quarter. CBS News is next. John Roberts, America Fights Back. Thanks for being with us on the Nextel Halftime Report.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
Judd Hirsch versus Tony Danza in the most controversial courtroom battle of the year. Call for backup. Call a taxi. All new Family Law, CBS Monday. Last Thursday, the Survivor game was rocked to its very core.
What?
And every alliance was shattered. Now food is scarce.
Prepare for the worst.
Will it stress out the new teams? Competition intensifies as the game reaches a whole new level.
You heard it here first.
All new Survivor Africa, CBS Thursday.
Hey, how you guys doing?
This is Tony Gonzalez, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. He supports the United Way by preparing meals at a local community center. Tony has good hands. The kitchen staff knows this.
Heads up.
D-Bone. Sorry.
Tony Gonzalez. On the football field, he has good hands.
Game day. It all comes down to this. You've got home field advantage and a sympathetic crowd. Don't blow it. You win here, you might just get the game at your house next week, too.
This is a CBS News update. America Fights Back. John Roberts reporting from CBS News World Headquarters in New York. Good day. Afghan rebel forces are claiming more victories in northern Afghanistan and won't rule out an assault on Kabul, despite President Bush's urging yesterday that they hold back. On the CBS News broadcast Face the Nation, Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld cast doubt on Osama bin Laden's claim to have a nuclear weapon.
We have a great deal of intelligence that says over a period of years the al-Qaeda organization has been actively trying to acquire chemical, biological, and radiation and/or nuclear weapons. I think it's unlikely he has a nuclear weapon.
2 months to the day after the terror attacks, President Bush is attending a ceremony at Ground Zero in New York. In other headlines, bin Laden today disavowed responsibility for the U.S. anthrax attacks. Pakistan's president says he has moved his country's nuclear weapons as a security measure. White House officials meet Hollywood producers today to discuss cooperation in the anti-terrorist war. And at a Veterans Day ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery, Vice President Dick Cheney laid a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknowns. Stay with CBS News and this CBS station for the latest on America Fights Back, including a complete update on tonight's CBS Evening News. Until then, I'm John Roberts, CBS News in New York. Good day.
Join Lucy and your favorite stars for the I Love Lucy 50th anniversary, CBS Tonight.
We all want something different. Some want consistency. Some want variety. Some like getting things in one simple package. That's why AT&T offers so many choices in long distance. To get the plan you want, call 1-800-ATT-4U and talk to the experts at making people happy.
Leading the way, Ford's leading the way.
Your Ford dealers want to drive America with absolutely no interest loans on Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. For the first time ever, pay no interest on Ford vehicles. That's interest-free financing on cars like Focus and Taurus, trucks like Ranger and F-Series, and no interest on Ford SUVs. Interest-free financing from your Midwest Ford dealers to help drive America.
You know, when I was a kid, I always knew I either wanted to be a medical doctor or a quarterback. But somewhere along the line, I had lost interest in being a football player. I'm not really sure when that was, but something told me that I needed to solve people's pain instead. Yeah, I always thought one day I'd be in the pros. And I was right.
It's all in the way we treat you.
Long before the sun rises, the dough is rising at Perkins. Before you roll out, we do. While you're waking up, you'll love what we're baking up. Nice and flaky all day long. Enjoy this Thanksgiving by letting us prepare your favorite pie. Reserve ahead of time and pick up your pies as late as Thanksgiving Day. Perkins, always something fresh and new.
Sports Director William Jackson on KCTV 5 News.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
Curtis Martin has 2 rushing touchdowns. The Jets are shutting out Kansas City. Let's go downstairs. Beasley Reese with Herman Edwards.
Coach, you got a good first half going. What did you say to the guys in the locker room?
Well, you know, we have to finish this thing off. I mean, these guys have a very explosive offense. They've got a fine runner. They've got some receivers that can make some big plays. So we have to continue to play like it's 0-0. And if we're going to be a good football team, in these situations, you have to finish the teams off.
Now, looking across the field, you're able to still detach yourself from the fact that you got your guy over there?
Yeah, and I think, you know, it's just a part of the football game now. I mean, we're just playing, and we got to continue to improve. We got to play better second half.
Thank you, Coach.
Beasley, thank you very much. Kevin Harlan alongside Craig James. What about the Chiefs? What have they got to do to get back in this game?
It's not really the defense, it's the offense. Trent Green has to make some plays. They have to throw the football. He has to have some protection. He has to throw with rhythm. And I think that's really where this game stands right now.
Trent Green has thrown 2 interceptions. That's the 2 Chiefs turnovers right there. And you see some of the numbers through the first 30 minutes of the game.
Yeah, these 2 numbers right here. They're your turnovers that resulted in some points. The passing yards or lack of, I think that's really hurting Kansas City. Their defense is going against an offense with Curtis Martin, so the Jets are going to score. The Chiefs have to answer the call. One thing, Kevin, we've seen in the 2 games we've had of the Chiefs, and many times in the season, they'll play 1 good half and then 1 bad half.
And we begin the second half with a kickoff, which is retrieved, we think, by Craig East, who bobbles it, picks it back up, and now is on the move. And a player down, Mike Maslowski, on his belly, lunges ahead, trips up Yeast, who is out to about the 37-yard line, a 19-yard return. And so the Jets will get it. There's Craig East. Boy, hasn't he been a pleasant surprise, signed off the street, and the guy who's now the #1 kickoff return man in the NFL coming into today.
Every time you say that, though, signed off the street. Acts like, the guy's, selling hot dogs at a vending machine, He
may have been.
He may have. I wonder if they're any good.
Yeah, that's right. Martin is in the backfield as Testaverde aligns his group at the 37-yard line, 1st and 10. Coles is in motion. Slot receiver is Anderson. The fake to Martin, rolling is Vinny, buys time, fires a pass, and it's caught by Coles in midfield. A flag has been thrown on the play.
I'm not so sure he didn't push off. I think Coles may have pushed him off to come back in, but there was contact.
Testaverde in that first half, 14 of 20, 120 yards. And they got Wayne Chrebet involved, which is really about the first significant time this season we could say that.
There's no illegal contact. Quarterback was out of the pocket. It's a first down.
Laveranues Coles, you know, is the other side of that coin you're talking about. Chrebet underneath. Coles is really stretching, has a lot of speed, drives hard down the field. Warfield and them, just some incidental contact there. That's probably a good call.
So the first down pass to Coles, who's grabbed a couple today at the Chiefs 49. Now Testaverde, first down and 10. He spins completely around and hands off to Richie Anderson, weaving his way downfield, crossing the 45 and landing at the 41. A nice gain of 8. He doesn't carry the ball all that often. Anderson's 15th carry of the season, but he is so versatile.
Oh man, watch how they come around and the way that they follow their blocks. Really nice job of Young pulling, getting around the corner. Again, this athletic offensive line. There's the kick out block. Look at everybody inside the wall off the lane. If he picks his feet up, he has an even bigger run than he did there. Pick your legs up.
Second down and 2 at the Kansas City 41 for the Jets. Just into the third quarter. Curtis Martin following Anderson, and that gets him a first down. Is finally brought down by Rich Owens after a gain of 6, and they'll move the chains for the New York Jets.
The Chiefs defense has to be disciplined. They know that. Everybody knows that against Curtis Martin. But right now, like the safety came up, he and the linebacker were in the same gap. They're not fanning out. That was poor execution, poor work on the Chiefs defense, and Curtis found the opening.
Ray Crockett is out of the game, and we'll try to figure out why. Barty is taking his place. 35-yard line, first and 10 for the New York Jets. Testaverde moves up nimbly, throws deep down the middle, and a drop by Chrebet. And he may have landed with the ball on his ribs, and that is extremely painful. Of course, he had the post-traumatic migraines, which forced him to miss a game against Carolina. Had that happen against St. Louis. But this was just diving for a ball, making a tremendous effort.
And you see how hard he drove to get back to the middle of the field. When he had the linebacker on him, he knew that he had nobody, no help over there, and that's where the ball was supposed to come. And he drove. He tried to get his body back in there to make the play, grabbing his left shoulder there.
Crockett is back on the field for the Chiefs. Martin is in the backfield. 3 wide receivers for the New York Jets, and second down and 10 from the Kansas City 35. And Testaverde, the short drop, the quick throw, and incomplete. Looking for Matthew Hatchett, who has been a disappointment since being signed as a free agent off the Minnesota Vikings. And now it'll be third down and 10 for the Jets.
A little lollygagging going on right now. The Chiefs just aren't really moving around a whole lot. And that time they tried to drop 8 back and to take away that little crossing route the Jets have been so successful with, and they need to be concerned with it again. However, I'll say this. The Jets, with Curtis Martin on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, are very good at running the draw.
Watch again for Chrebet. He is in the slot, top of your screen. 4th down and 10 yards to go. Handoff goes to Martin, who tried to spin. In fact, he bounced off his blocker, Matthew Hatchett. It's a gain of 2 and shy of the first down, and so the Jets will have to settle for a 3-point try. Remember, the wind is at their back in this third quarter. So for John Hall, who has kicked a field goal, in fact, if 47 yards last week in New Orleans, albeit inside, but he's got the range.
Yeah, this is a goofy win, though.
Yeah.
It might be at his back, but it's a goofy one. It's all over the place.
His career long is 60 yards. That was at the University of Wisconsin. His NFL long is 56. This will be a 51-yard try. Wind at his back, the snap by Dirt, the hold by Tuchel. This kick is up, and it is good from 51 yards away. He drills it, and the Jets are drilling the Chiefs 17-0.
now free to move about the country.
Just push play. You gotta read it anyway. Just push play. Walk this way. There's a light in your soul. It says you're one of a kind. Don't never let it go. Be original. An individual, like Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. Dr. Pepper, be you, do what
Garth's new album, Scarecrow, is available November 13th, wherever great music is sold.
When I was at Florida State, primetime was always pumped up in Florida. This year, get ready for a wild romp in the swamp. Primetime next Saturday on CBS.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
John Hall sets to kick off after he just booted a 51-yard field goal. That is a season long after knocking in a 47-yarder last week in New Orleans. Victor Green will have to hold this because the wind is so tough at his back. It's blowing at about 15 to 25 mile an hour tonight.
Dick Vermeil told us in our meetings that he ideally throughout the game would run 35 times today and throw 30. So far he has 16 runs and 11 passes, but he's going to have to reverse that number now that he's down like he is.
John Hall kicking off to Dante Hall at the 10-yard line. Runs up the middle. Grant slowed up by Green eventually with the tackle, but the initial hit was by James Darling, a 24-yard return. Well, what has been the most surprising aspect of the 2001 season thus far? You see the different things, and to me, it is not even close. The Chicago Bears back-to-back overtime wins.
Nah, I think I'm going to have to go with my old Patriots guy, Tom Brady. Hey, man, the Patriots, well, you know, okay, we'll do this one too.
Just log on and cast your vote at NFL.com. So the Chiefs have their first second-half possession at the 30-yard line, 35-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go. Green is rearranging parts all over the field. Holmes remains in the backfield. Gonzalez goes on the move. And Green to the air. He's thrown 2 interceptions. And he throws a pass on the flat, which is caught by Holmes. Tackle made by Damian Robinson. No gain on the play. Damian Robinson has been in the eye of the hurricane last couple weeks, huh?
What was that? I mean, you know, get up, you make a nice play, Damian, going back to the huddle, and I think, you know, controlling the emotions. You got to, you know, don't come over and taunt the Chiefs bench.
The weapons arrest, of course, in the incident last week as he was tackling New Orleans quarterback Aaron Brooks, got him by the face mask. He was fined $20,000 for that move. Second down and 10 from the 35. Green down the middle, batted away by who else but Shane Burton. His second batted down pass today. The first one he batted and it ricocheted, and he picked it up and intercepted the ball.
Hey, didn't we have a Western theme to this show today? You know, we saw that kind of Western-like, you know, a man named Shane.
Yeah.
How about Burton? I mean, the guy getting up in the air, swatting, Mr. Swatter.
Really?
I'd have to call him here, my team. I'd say, hey, Mr. Swatter, what is going on?
He's rejected 6 field goals in his NFL career and 4 block passes in a game about a month ago up in Buffalo. Third down and 10 from the 35 for Green, who aligns in the shotgun. And the pass wide open down the middle is Chris Thomas, the ex-St. Louis Ram. He's to the 46-yard line of the Jets. And on 3rd and 10, he picks up 18 and a Chiefs first down.
You got to know the down and the distance defense. You know, you can't play this loose. Aaron Glenn and the guys were saying how they're playing zone a whole lot better because they're able to see their man and the quarterback. Well, that time there, you saw a lot of cushion. And what I was expecting after hearing our meetings with the Jets was that they would be able to merge, stay closer with in the zone protections.
Again, Minnis is out, at least right now, with a sprained left ankle, so Thomas will see time. 46-yard line of the Jets, Kansas City, first down and 10. fake handoff, and a good move it was by Green outside. He throws, caught by Richardson, breaks a tackle, a failure, and then that move, though, forced him out of bounds. But a first down, a gain of 11, down to the Jet 34.
All right, don't fall asleep, Jets, D, because Mr. Tony Gonzalez is looming in the weeds.
I think that's the guy they may go to.
You got that right, Hoss.
11-yard gain down to the 35-yard line. This is when the Chiefs are at their best, coming from behind. This is when they get their big chunks of yards. Handoff, probably fumble by Richardson. It's loose, and Tony may have reeled in his own drop. But let's see. Up the Jets got it. Kansas City's third turnover today. 2 interceptions, and that fumble right there for Richardson. And the Jets take over.
This is why they're 2-6. They play well at times, and then they fall right apart. Right when they get a little momentum going their way, a little bit of field position, they just can't turn it into points.
There's cold, and then there's Coors Light. Frost brewed for that Rocky Mountain cold taste.
When you're ready for a cold one, it's gotta be a cold Coors Light.
He was arrested during a rescue attempt and will be executed tomorrow morning.
He broke the first rule of espionage.
He took matters into his own hands.
To save him, his partner's going to break them all.
I don't care what it takes. I'm getting him out.
We got zero room for error.
Robert Redford.
They know.
They don't know.
They'll be waiting.
Brad Pitt.
I'm coming home.
Get out of the way!
Spy Game. Rated R. At theaters Wednesday, November 21st.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. Burger King, home of the Whopper. And by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge.
This crowd in a frenzy. The Chiefs just fumbled. Tony Richardson coughed it up. Jets take over 35-yard line. 1st and 10. Curtis Martin, a block from Anderson. And he sprints outside, grabbed by Marcus Patton. But not after he grabs a first down. Running up to the 47-yard line, picking up 13 yards on the play. And Tuesday on CBS, the one, the only Michael Jackson reunites with his brothers for the first time in nearly 20 years and performs with today's biggest stars. Don't miss Michael Jackson's 30th anniversary. What are you laughing at? Michael Jackson's 30th anniversary celebration Tuesday on CBS.
Well, you know, I'm torn here. I think I'm going to have to go with I Love Lucy.
Me too. Outside the 47. It is a first down for the Jets, mid stages of the third quarter. Hand off to Martin again. Jenkins with a nice block that opens the gate and down to the 37-yard line. Gallops Curtis Martin. That's a gain of 15 yards and another Jet first down.
Man, are they good on that offensive execution. Man, left guard, look at, he's here. He's coming around the field. Everybody's getting down. They're walling off. Jenkins looks. Look at how they get inside with the tight end. He's out here. The wide receivers are down the field. If you're blocking for Curtis Martin, you can't go to sleep outside. You've got to get down the field and block.
Jets have a home record of 1-3, but on their way to a nice win here if they keep it up. 37 of Kansas City, 1st and 10. Anderson in motion. The pitch out to the NFL's leading rusher, Martin. A lead block by Fabini, and that gets him a first down. Jason Fabini, the pulling left tackle. That opened a door up 10 yards for Martin. Now over 100 yards today. His 5th 100-yard game this season. The 22nd with the Jets. the 36th of his career.
Hey, both of these guys are coming. Watch how both of them pull. I mean, Jenkins, Favini, these guys got to be in shape. You cannot be in shape if you're on the offensive line, or out of shape if you play for the Jets. You got to be ready to go.
He's had games today of 13 yards, 15 yards, and 10 yards. And they've got Lamont Jordan now in the backfield, giving Curtis Martin a reprieve. And here's the handoff to Lamont Jordan. Grabbed and brought down by Marvin Penn. In about a yard. Second down and 9. Yeah, it has been a house of horrors for the Jets at home. I told you before, 4-0 on the road, but dismal losses to the Colts opening day, to San Francisco, the trickery of St. Louis. It's been tough at home this season.
He's got to be tired. Watch how he gets popped. I guarantee you that he is tired. Jenkins comes around. Woo! Eric Hicks smoked his clap.
Second down and 10 from the Kansas City 26. Testaverde winds up and fires a pass inside the 10-yard line. It is caught by Richie Anderson. There may not be a more versatile running back aside from Marshall Faulk in the NFL. He was a Pro Bowler a season ago. That 22-yard catch right there is a season long. And it gives the Jets first and goal at the Chiefs 5.
You're talking about rhythm right here. You saw the hitch in his work, his footwork right there. He looked to the middle. He progressed to the right. Vinny Testaverde absolutely for certain knew where he was going at ball. Look middle, move your feet, turn right, throw to Richie Anderson. That is West Coast offense where you have execution and you have all of your check downs.
Martin is in the game. First and goal from the 5. Anderson is the lead guy in the eye. Hand off to Martin. Anderson a block. And that is the third rushing touchdown today for Curtis Martin. So the Jets cash in on the Tony Richardson fumble. Curtis Martin now has 10 touchdowns on the ground this year, 3 today. And he is playing like a guy on top of the NFL rushing numbers.
Kerry Jenkins, their left guard, he may be headed to the Pro Bowl of all the players on the league. Watch this game.
He is a 3-year starter. He was signed off the Chicago practice squad back in '97. And here's the extra point try. And the stroke by Hall. The Jets are looking for their 3rd consecutive win for shutting out the Chiefs.
Then I had that taste. The new grilled sourdough bacon cheeseburger at Burger King. Now I'm a believer. With grilled sourdough bread. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. A quarter pound of flame broiled beef. I'm in love. 2 slices of melted Swiss cheese. 4 strips of bacon. The new grilled sourdough bacon cheeseburger will make you a believer. Now for a limited time at Burger King. Shrek, the biggest movie of the year. Now available wherever videos are sold.
Look at this workmanship. Could make a lot of lira selling these in New York. Yeah, look at these prices. These guys don't know what they got. They're clueless. Try asking the old guy if he can handle a production of 10,000 of these.
No problem, signora.
What's it say? They have 2 million units warehoused in New Jersey. New Jersey?
New Jersey. New Jersey.
The right infrastructure can take your business anywhere, even New Jersey.
Bye-bye.
Access NFL.com now at America Online. Get live game day coverage and real-time stats at AOL keyword NFL.com.
Harm and Mac's private relationship
You played me.
is about to become public.
Are you two involved with each other?
Yes. A scandalous new Jag CBS Tuesday.
Curtis Martin was untouched in a 5-yard touchdown run moments ago, the 3rd of the day for him, and no team has cashed in on opponent turnovers more than the New York Jets, coming into today #1, the takeaway giveaway in the NFL. They've been great. 14 points for the Jets off 3 Chiefs turnovers. And the ensuing kickoff by Hall, and he sends down a rocket to Dante Hall, who's going to bring it out. About 4 yards deep, and that was not a wise move. Jamie Henderson smelled it out and douses in at the 10-yard line. 14-yard return. The Jets have got momentum.
Excuse me, can you take Timmy to tuba practice?
No problem. Hey, mister.
Battle of Gettysburg?
No problem.
Can you take me to the truck, please?
No problem.
Tu peux nous amener à l'école?
Dodge Caravan. It offers an exclusive power rear hatch.
Hey, my pony!
And 972 seating configurations.
What do international cyclists think about the new Norelco Advantage Razor?
In Germany, we are using blades. They are much more better.
I'm really more of a blade guy.
They had their doubts, but they were intrigued by this highly technical wet shave innovation.
What is this? Goo? Goo. Goo.
This lotion set up an unbelievably close wet shave, even in the shower.
That is good.
After a few weeks of no nicks and cuts from blades, their faces became smooth. They, however, did not. The new Norelco Advantage, the only electric razor with built-in shaving lotion.
Talk to LiftMaster and get the world's #1 professionally installed garage door opener. Call LiftMaster now.
Hey, it's Dark Mountain Roast Coffee. Real robust, full-bodied coffee. Always fresh. As good or better than any coffee house. And it costs less. Dark Mountain Roast Coffee, only at 7-Eleven. Get it while it's hot. It's always hot. Yeah. Oh, thank heaven.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. And by Norelco, for an unexpectedly close shave, guaranteed. Put it to the test.
Thursday on CBS, the old alliances are now shattered, and the Survivor game has been rocked. Now the competition intensifies. Don't miss an all-new Survivor Thursday on CBS. Kevin Harlan, Craig James, Beasley in gusty Giant Stadium. Derek Alexander is in for the first time today for the Chiefs as Green operates with an empty backfield at his own 11. Second start today from this position for the Chiefs offense with Mo Lewis blitzing. The pass dropped across the middle by Tony Gonzalez. Victor Green picked it up thinking it might be a live ball. It was not. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Marvin Jones came right on over. Played really smart there. Alexander, but you know, Dick Vermeil was saying, you asked him the question too. You said, hey, coach, in the draft next year, what is it that you really feel like you would want to target and go after? He was quick. I thought he was going to straddle the fence.
I did too.
And he came right out and said, I need a playmaker wide receiver.
Well, Sylvester Morris, a guy they drafted high last year, injured and out for the season. He'll be coming back, and Alexander's been injured a lot of this season. 2nd down and 10 from the 11. Hand off to Holmes, dragged and brought down by Abraham. This is an emerging star in the National Football League. He's already got a half sack today, 8 for the season. He had 4 he authored last week in New Orleans. He is incredible. And he's got 8 tackles today already.
Beasley, we're sitting here watching a Jets team follow up a real strong outing last week on the road at New Orleans. They're doing it today.
You know what? There is a such thing as a team psyche, and you can see the Jets psyche becoming really positive and powerful. At another point, Herman Edwards will call off the dogs here in a few minutes on his old coach.
3rd down and 12. Good point from the 9. Green, pocket crumbles, throws away, caught by Gonzalez. Coleman ushers Tony out of bounds. It is a 1st down and a pickup of 13 yards on 3rd down and 12.
That's one guy right there that just hasn't been able to shake open. It's like they you know, get a little bit of things going early in that first half, and then they have a mistake, a turnover. John Abraham forced Trent Green to throw a little early. It just hasn't worked their way today in Kansas City, and that's why they've said so many times, hey, fellas, these numbers are a little bit awkward when you look at our offensive numbers, because so many times we get big numbers because we're out of control and having to catch up.
Beauty, Dolphins, and Colts. Tom Brady trying for another win for the Patriots as a quarterback taking the place of the injured Drew Bledsoe. 4 scores. Trent Green's going to call a timeout. Ooh, Pittsburgh
9-9.
Tied.
Somebody needs a home run.
Chiefs burned their first timeout.
This is for the people that I call my friends. We're just getting started when the long day ends. This but's for you. And you and you and you. This but's for you.
Hey,
Hey.
so it's $31.99 a month, right?
Yep. Over 100 channels, all 100% digital quality.
Cool. Upstairs. What are you waiting for? Chop, chop.
Got it.
What? You think I wash cars for free?
Just $31.99 a month gets you over 100 channels of DirecTV programming. Right now with free professional installation.
Okay, sir, you're all signed up.
It's the new Ultimate Lovers Pizzas from Pizza Hut. Now with 6 kinds of luscious cheese and 6 kinds of seriously satisfying meat toppings. Or 5 garden veggies. Or 2 layers of zesty pepperoni. Just $8.99. The new Ultimate Lovers Pizzas, only from Pizza Hut.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? For more cargo room. More people room. Or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy it's like having a second car. Or third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
A one-of-a-kind performer with the #1 album in the country. Michael Jackson reunites with the Jacksons for the first time in nearly 20 years. Plus, special appearances by NSYNC, Destiny's Child, and Whitney Houston. All new Michael Jackson special, CBS Tuesday at 9/8 Central.
Kansas City with 3 turnovers. Trent Green a couple of interceptions. Kevin Harlan alongside the big pony, Craig James. Curtis Martin's been great. 3 rushing touchdowns today and over 100 yards.
I think I'd put him on the bench. Give him a cup of water and say, hey, Curtis, nice job today. Lamont Jordan, get in there and run the football.
After the Kansas City timeout, first down and 10, 21-yard line. Fake handoff to Richardson. Here comes the rush. There goes Green, sacked by Shane Burton. Shane Burton has his 2nd sack of the season, coupled with his 1st interception of the year. And for the Jets, their 2nd sack of Chiefs quarterback Trent Green. Mark it back to the 17-yard line.
There's that guy again, a man named Shane. Blocks passes, intercepts passes. They're playing games in here. They're really doing a nice job of running. You see how they're crossing up? They're getting into different lanes. The Chiefs just can't pick it up.
Boy, as good as the Chiefs looked last week against San Diego, I think it shows you that the Jets are picking up now their game in all facets. 2nd down, 15 from the 17 for Green. A block by Tate. Time for Green. And off the fingertips, it ricochets out of bounds, incomplete off of Chris Thomas.
What a year. What a difference a year makes, right? I mean, this over here, this was the last year with St. Louis, and he had 16 touchdowns. This year he only has 8, and he has 13 interceptions. Now, there's a lot of learning, a lot of newness that takes place with the new system for sure. But certainly Trent Green, there are a lot of passes he's thrown this year that he wishes he could get back.
With Minnesota with a sprained left ankle, we are seeing Derek Alexander continue to be in this offense. 3rd down, 15 from the 17. Green, here comes the rush again, chased by Ferrier. He eludes him. Here comes Ellis. It's intercepted. The passes by Coleman. Trent Green has thrown 3 interceptions today. The Chiefs have coughed it over 4 times, and Marcus Coleman gets his 2nd interception of the season, his 1st since week 1 against Peyton Manning and the Indianapolis Colts.
What's that? Is that deja vu? Didn't I just say that there are a lot of passes this guy wishes he could get back? The Jets are crossing up, bringing pressure from the inside with linebackers, one play on the outside on the other. This is one of those balls that Trent Green wishes he could get back. Very difficult job. Throw the ball hard, rolling to your left side, trying to get it to the outside there, and Tony Gonzalez, who's double teamed.
Green having a rough day. The Jets trying to cash in on this from the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. In the backfield is Curtis Martin. With the tight end, Anthony Beck on the move. The pitch out to Martin. A lead block by Young. A good block away on the side by the receiver Hatchett. And it's a gain of 7. Monty Beisel brings him down at the 13-yard line.
Well, the East is a very interesting, tough division. I don't know. Tough. New England Patriots have just made it crazy the way the Patriots have been playing. But the Jets certainly answering the call, in our opinion here, that they are a team that will be a part of the AFC East, especially the month of December.
And this game was kind of the linchpin. Could they come back after 2 straight road wins and play where they had not played well before at home? Shockingly at home. 2nd down and 3. 13-yard line. 4th consecutive start in Chiefs territory today for the Jets. Martin deep in the backfield. He gets the call. And a block by Machado only produces a yard for Martin. Tackle made by Wesley down to the 12-yard line.
Eric Hicks, that left side of the Chiefs defense today, they've had a real strong dose of Curtis Martin coming their way. And it's almost like high school ball right now the way they're running. But well, watch this here. Boom. What was that? That's not good. Why would he want to knee him in the face? I know you're getting beat bad, but all that does to a running back like Curtis Martin, it makes him mad.
3rd down 2 from the 12. New lineman has come in. Kareem McKenzie added to the line. And a timeout will be taken by Vinny Testaverde. He burns his first in this second half. Jets have had the wind at their back in this 3rd quarter. Monday on CBS, an all-new night of great television, starting with The King of Queens, followed by Yes Dear, and Monday's #1 comedy, Everybody Loves Raymond. And stay tuned for Ted Danson and Becky. Plus, don't miss an all-new Family Law. It's all here Monday on CBS. Kevin Harlan, Craig James, Beasley Reese in blustery Giant Stadium. It is still called Giant Stadium. And by the way, when you think of the Jets, you think of them playing in Shea Stadium. Today, they will, by playing here, will equal the same number of games as they played at Shea Stadium. So that feeling, that old vivid image you got in your mind of them playing at Shea is good, but know that they played just as many games now here as they did there.
There you go again. Why don't you share some of these things with me at dinner on Friday and Saturday night? That's a good nugget.
3rd down 2 inside the 12. And the handoff goes to Martin. Nice play by rookie Monty Bison out of Kansas State, a 4th-round pick. And that will stop the Jets, and they'll have 4th and 3, and they bring out John Hall and try to tack on 3 more to their already sizable lead.
I know Beasley said they'd call the dogs off, at least Herm Edwards would, his old mentor. But again, the Jets need something like this. They need a big game where they come out and just pound somebody.
31-yard try. Earlier in the game, a 51-yard kick by Hall, and this one is smoothly sent through. I don't think the Chiefs saw this coming. After their emotional win last week in San Diego, getting blistered 27-0.
And I think, didn't Jim Nantz at dinner last night tell us he thought the Chiefs would win this one, didn't he?
I think a lot of people said that.
Yeah, I did. I think so. Yeah, the AFC Central, this is a division where at the bottom down here, this 3-4 Tennessee Titans, surprise everybody. Certainly Cleveland has done a remarkable job, and the Steelers too. Bill Cowher's done a nice job. I'm not so certain here. I'm not sure that the Ravens are going to end up. Well, they might make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to go far. Out in the West, this is a strong division to say the least. I thought Seattle would do better after a couple of weeks ago when we saw Trent Dilfer and them win at home against Denver, but they've kind of slacked off. Oakland certainly is the cream of the crop out there.
John Hall just kicked his 2nd field goal. Will try again. And Victor Green will hold it because the wind is a factor here this afternoon in Giant Stadium. Dante Hall is back inside his own goal line. With his first career carry today and an end around earlier in the game. And John Hall sends it high. Dante Hall from about the 10-yard line for the Kansas City Chiefs. Graham, nice hit made by Gerald Stroll. He is a reserve running back who is one of the top tacklers on the Jets special teams. And a 15-yard return. Follow all the games on NFL.com. And after the games, get in-depth analysis and recaps from the experts only at NFL.com or AOL, keyword NFL.com. Well, tough day for Trent Green. 3 interceptions. The Chiefs have turned it over 4 times, and the Jets have scored 17 points on those 4 Kansas City turnovers. 1st and 10 from the 24. There's Alexander, bottom of your screen. The pitch out to Holmes. Blocked by Tim, blocked by Whitman, blocked by the wide receiver Chris Thomas. A pretty hard hit by Damian Robinson, and a gain of 8 on the play. Not a bounds at about the 32.
Well, let's try to chart this thing here. You know, this guy here, he gets up and he comes. You know, it's kind of like the Chiefs. You know, they play one good half, then they fall apart. We've had the Chiefs 2 games, and every time we have him, he runs for about 175. Today is the abnormality. I mean, he's normally out there running up and down teams. 56 yards on the day.
2nd down and 2. Jets have scored on 5 of 8 possessions today, so they are really capitalizing virtually every time they've got it. The offense has been under the microscope. Hand off to Holmes, tackled by Marvin Jones, and he'll be close to a 1st down. Because it was the defense which was Craig gaining all the accolades. It's the offense which has been criticized and talked about.
And the Jets.
Yes.
Yeah, they have. And that's what Vinny Testaverde told us. You know, said, look, we've got to pull our load now. And the thing about this team, the Jets, you got to remember, they're 5-3 coming into this game and really haven't played well. They haven't played as a team. That's why we said at the beginning of the game they need to put it all together. And this is a new coach, new system, and it's coming around.
Chiefs get a 1st down at the 34-yard line with under a minute to play here in the 3rd quarter. Fake handoff to Holmes. It gets by Abraham, and then Green throws downfield. Caught by Derek Alexander. A welcome sight for Chiefs fans. He's down inside the Jet 42. Alexander, who has been missing games with Achilles tendon problems, abdominal muscle pulls, torn rib cage, cartilage, picks up only his 13th reception of the season.
Well, Dr. Harlan, he came across the middle there and did a nice job of driving. And you know, one of the things that occurred on that play, which has been happening in this game, are the Chiefs finding a way to put a tight end over John Abraham in their shifting so that he has somebody there on top of him most of the time and not clear to get to the quarterback.
25-yard gain, longest play of the day for the Chiefs. 1st and 10 from the Jets 41. Pass is thrown. Did a bounce before it was scooped in by Alexander. They say it's a catch at the 23. Gain of 18 yards. And another Kansas City 1st down.
Well, he's maybe a little, look good there, didn't it?
Yep, that's the Chiefs' deepest penetration today, which ends the 3rd quarter. We come to the 4th with the Chiefs on the move, yet trailing 27-0.
For years, I had a nightmare.
New York's police commissioner Bernie Kerik bears his soul to Mike Wallace tonight on 60 Minutes.
Survivor, Thursday on CBS. It's all here.
Leading the way, Ford's leading the way.
Your Ford dealers want to drive America with absolutely no interest loans on Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. For the first time ever, pay no interest on Ford vehicles. That's interest-free financing on cars like Focus and Taurus, trucks like Ranger and F-Series, and no interest on Ford SUVs. Interest-free financing from your Midwest Ford dealers to help drive America.
Wednesday at 9, KCTV 5 News will bring you Terrorism. Is Kansas City ready?
Terrorism is America's new war, and it involves all of us. I'm Dave Helling. We'll bring together all the important players in this studio to hear from you as we talk about terrorism. It's an important commercial-free hour of television.
Don't miss a KCTV 5 News special, Terrorism. Is Kansas City ready? Wednesday at 9 on KCTV 5.
Get your Volkswagen before someone else does, because right now, they're going fast.
Catch The Early Show, now at 5 a.m. on KCTV 5.
Herman Edwards, the student, and the mentor, Dick Vermeil on the sideline. We start the 4th quarter with the Chiefs trailing 27-0. Curtis Martin, 3 touchdown runs of a yard. 25 yards and of 5 yards. Trent Green has thrown 3 interceptions. John Hall has kicked 2 field goals. And the Jets have scored 17 points off of 14 over 4 Kansas City turnovers today. It seems like 14.
Well,
for the Chiefs, it seems like 14 as well.
I tell you what this is happening here. This here basically is where the student is spanking the teacher.
Well, we are going back to a play which ended our 3rd quarter. Tom White is now going to look and see if indeed this was a reception by the Chiefs receiver Derek Alexander. This was the final play of the 3rd quarter. And
well, the left arm looks under, and then when it rolls, the right hand looks like it's under there. And keep in mind, it has to be conclusive to overturn from the replay booth.
And that's about as good an angle as we're going to get.
See his right hand underneath the ball?
Of that, unless this takes us.
See, I see his right hand.
Well,
under.
I do too.
You
Yeah,
know, the gloves there.
If that is indeed what happened, and it appears as though with our untrained eye it is.
Hey, speak for yourself.
It's a pretty good catch.
Throw me in your untrained eye, you deal. But it's the left arm. See the left arm? From this point, and the right hand that's under the ball, there's nothing conclusive there that can overturn the call on the field.
See what a difference these receivers with a little veteran feel for the game give the Kansas City offense. Now, granted, there's loose coverage by the Jets, and so games like this may be seen, but this is what was kind of hampered in many different parts. The performance of Trent Green this year is not the only reason why he has struggled by any means, but it is definitely a part of the story. Not having receivers that have got a great deal of experience and texture in the NFL. And they continue to look at it.
Yeah, you know, when you look at the statistics, the percentages are so much smaller in terms of the number of plays that are overturned, the calls overturned after they've gone in and reviewed them. And I think the officials in this league are doing a good job. I know there are a lot of fans out there who think the officials are idiots, to say the least. You know, and I just don't. I think they do a great job.
Tom White has taken a look at the replays that you have seen, and he will come and make his decision known to us. He is the judge and jury, by the way, in all calls. He makes the decision. He sees the evidence.
He's the man. He's the man.
And he makes the call. Now White is going to confer with the other officials.
After reviewing the play, this is an incomplete pass. The ball hits the ground coming in there. It's an incomplete pass. We'll go back to the 41-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 10. And 12 seconds on the game clock. New York is not charged a timeout. And we're still in the 3rd period.
Great explanation that gets you up to date on where we stand. It was 1st and 10 for the Chiefs. Deep in Jet territory at about the 41-yard line.
Now I take it back.
Yeah.
You guys are idiots. They're never right. What the heck did he see? How can he see that hand underneath? I didn't see the ball bounce. Did you?
Well,
don't straddle the fence. What'd you think? Did you think that was a catch?
Every time I've guessed, you know, it's like with Richie Anderson bobbled that ball in Carolina, and I didn't think that was a catch because he didn't have full control of the ball and they ruled it a fumble.
Yeah,
so it's hard to say. I think, you know what, we just do our job, they do their job, and we all just see what the dust settles. 2nd down and 10 from the 41. We are still in the 3rd quarter. 12 seconds remain, and here comes Green being chased and thrown down, hit by Mo Lewis. Incomplete pass. Now 3 seconds, make it 8 seconds remain in this 3rd quarter. Let's go to Jim Nantz in New York.
All right, Kevin and Craig, much like you two last night at the dinner table, Manning going for 2nd and 3rd helpings here today with Marvin Harrison. 2 times they've hooked up for scores in the 3rd quarter. 3 touchdowns on the day between those two. And it's 24-17 Colts. Back to you.
Jim, Marvin Harrison has 13 touchdown receptions over the last 9 games. 3rd down and 10 for Green. And the pass is incomplete. The diving Alexander couldn't get it. Aaron Glenn was on him at the 26. And the Chiefs have got a punt with 3 seconds now remaining in the 3rd.
Hey, and by the way, we did have 2nd and 3rd helpings. Alexander driving up the field. Aaron Glenn not taking it. He knew exactly where he was going. Felt absolutely zero fear that he was going to try to run past him. And Glenn came back up, put his hand just there on that hip. That old veteran move, just a little bit on the hip, and then swatted the ball away.
Chad Morton deep back. They got him in a trade earlier this year from New Orleans. Dan Straczynski into the win. They blow that down. And this will be against Kansas City.
False start. Number 50 offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
It's only the 2nd penalty of the game, shockingly enough. And if you take a look at converted defensive back and current linebacker Larry Atkins out of UCLA.
And oddly enough, Vermeil said if we can get a game where we only have maybe 2 penalties and play a smart game, we feel like we can win the game.
Here's Straczynski's punt. And gets off a beauty, which lands at the 1. A textbook punt by Straczynski. 45 yards and placed, that'll bring a smile to your face, placed perfectly at the 1-yard line. The Jets have been brilliant today, and their leader, Curtis Martin, has led the way.
Shelly, listen, it's Greg. I'm at the dentist. Yeah, okay. Shelly, I want to come into work. They don't know what I've got. I have a tooth. I got the chicken pox. 24-hour, like, mumps. What else can I have? I am really sick. Both ears, gone. I'm hemorrhagic. I'm in traction.
The Acura MDX with torque managing 4-wheel drive.
I was eating wax fruit this week. No.
Taking the SUV to a place it's never been before.
Wednesday, teams must walk through a valley of death, and a big mistake leads to a surprise ending.
We're going back.
Don't miss the most gripping show on TV. All new Amazing Race, CBS Wednesday.
We start the second, 4th quarter. We started before. We were taken back to the 3rd. Now we start the 4th quarter again. That was the goal line you just saw, and that is the ball. Yes, it is about a yard away. Straczynski's punt landing at the 1. He had one earlier that landed at the 4. And now marooned at his 1. Vinny Testaverde has it 1st down and 10. And a handoff in the middle, trying to carve his way into that Chiefs line is Anderson. And a gain of about a yard, 2nd down and 9 for the best NFL coverage on the net, including expert analysis and in-depth team reports. Go to CBS.sportsline.com or AOL keyword CBS Sportsline.
Tough place on the field as a ball carrier to have to carry it here. It's tight. You don't want to make a mistake, and when you don't want to make mistakes, usually when it happens, you know the Chiefs are out there trying to strip the football.
Anderson leaves. Martin remains by himself. 2nd down, long 8 from about the 2. Testaverde with time winds up, looking for Swain, and just to the pass, and it's incomplete, covered by Crockett at the 35-yard line. 3rd down.
and you've already told everybody, Kevin Swain, this guy's played football just about every weekend of the year 2001. AFL, the Arena Football League, the World Football League. Now he's playing in the NFL. And Ray Crockett, what a wise play that was to be able to throw his body and hand back in the way of the wide receiver. Swain not able to come back on the underneath. Going to him, and old Wayne Corbett's been shut out here in the second half.
Anderson back in with Martin in the I, third long 8 from just outside the 2. Hand off to Martin. Grabbed and taken down. Tackle was made by Donnie Edwards along with Glenn Cadrez. And the Jets 3 and out. They got a punt. I am wondering what is going through Herman Edwards' mind, shutting out a dear friend, father-like figure in Vermeil, 27-0. If I think you may have even called it earlier, calling off the dogs and just letting this clock run down and taking a win when you can get one.
Yeah, but
they've proven every point they can prove.
Absolutely, but I don't think he's. This right now, it's a game. And that's what he's coaching.
Bad punt by Tupa, off the side of his foot, bouncing around inside the Jet 40 and down near the 38. A 33-yard punt by Tom Tupa into the wind. 27-0, the New York Jets.
The all-new 200-horsepower Acura RSX.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Acura MDX, taking the SUV to a place it's never been before. MasterCard. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. And by Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Are you ready for a cold one?
After a short punt by Tom Tupa in his own end zone, the Chiefs have their best beginning field position of the day inside the 38 of the Jets. 1st and 10. And Priest holds sent inside, bounces outside, and runs into Aaron Glenn, who is assisted on the tackle by John Abraham, a gain of 3. 2nd down and 7. Wednesday on CBS, don't miss Garth Brooks in a one-of-a-kind concert event. Garth Brooks live, coast to coast, Wednesday on CBS.
You know, we got a pretty good lineup. Tonight we got I Love Lucy's anniversary, right?
Yep.
I may not ever do anything besides watch TV.
2nd down and 7, 35-yard line. Green fires a pass to the side. It's caught by Thomas at the 20-yard line. Tackled by Coleman. 1st down for the Chiefs. And that is a gain on the play of 15 yards. They got their deepest penetration of the day.
Yeah, hey, they're sticking with Trent Green. You notice that, don't you? I mean, he's had a rough outing here today, but Dick Vermeil staying with his guy. I admire that.
And this is why they're the #2 passing offense in the NFL, because they're behind so often. They're always fighting to get back in a game unless they get the big chunks of yards. On the 20, 1st and 10. The pump fake into the end zone for Alexander, incomplete. Great break up by Aaron Glenn, who continues to play at a great level. A flag has been thrown back at the 30-yard line. Not on Glenn, but back, it looks like, on Abraham.
Actually, it was holding on John Tate. He just kind of brought old Abraham down. 76.
Holding, number 76, offense. It's a 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
John Tate has now been called for 5 holding penalties this season.
There he is, a big feller. He's out here singled up with John Abraham, who is a fast dude. This guy can move. Look at him. This is a speed rush, just run right around him. You know what's interesting is that they want to build a team of speed, and they are better built for AstroTurf. And you can't believe how good they'd be if they were playing on turf instead of grass.
Penalty pushed him back to the 30, a 1st and 20 run by Tony Richardson, and he picks up 13 yards, and he's knocked out of bounds at about the 17-yard line.
You mind if I finish that thought?
You go ahead.
And so this Jets defense is being built for team speed. Guys like Sean Ellis and John Abraham and Herm Edwards said, if we were an AstroTurf team, we would really be fast and good, you know, and they're playing on grass.
And this turf has not gotten a lot of rave reviews this season.
No, just not a lot of footing to it.
2nd down and 7 from the 17-yard line of the Jets. Handoff. And inside the 15-yard line goes Tony Richardson. Ooh, and a punch into the gut of Sean Ellis. No flag, no yellow on the play, but it was very obvious to all who saw, including Tom White, who was right there.
I mean, Ellis kept trying to push him back a little bit.
Is that taunting? 3rd down and 5, 15-yard line. On the shotgun, Green moves up. Here comes Ellis. There goes the pass. Cranked by the staggering fullback Tony Richardson. Lumbering inside the 10. Picks up a 1st down. Picks up 6 on 3rd and 5. And let's send it back to New York and Jim Nance.
All right, a little update from Foxborough, Kevin. The Patriots lead it 14-3. In the 3rd, they got their 2nd touchdown of the day. They had a Brady touchdown pass earlier. This was a 2nd effort by Antoine Smith, scoring against his former team, the Bills. And we have 10 minutes left in the game now. Let's go back to you.
Tom Brady, thank you, Jim. Tom Brady is now 4-2 as a starter, looking for his 3rd consecutive home win, taking the place of Bledsoe. 1st and goal at the 9. Richardson run outside for a gain of 1, down to about the 8. Tackled on the play by Abraham and Robinson. 2nd down and goal.
You know, when you talk about effort, right now the Jets defense is playing hard. John Abraham in his 2nd year. I want you to watch him backside. Watch how hard he pursues. Watch 94, 2nd year, get to the ball. There's the cutback lane, and there's John Abraham. That is the kind of effort that makes your teammates better around you.
2nd down, goal at the 8. Alexander on the move. Richardson again running into his own blocker. The rotund Donald Willis, and a gain of 2. Donald has not missed many meals.
Rotund. Rotunda.
He is 330 pounds. He's played for a couple teams, and his 3rd start today. There he is. He's taking the place of Marcus Spears, who had to move to right tackle when Victor Riley broke his leg. 3rd down, goal at the 6.
I like that word rotund instead of, you could have said other things.
Green has got Gonzalez in motion. We'll step back to throw and fire a pass to the end zone, and it's caught by the aforementioned Tony Gonzalez. A 6-yard touchdown throw.
Kind of classy act right there. You know what? You're down 27-0. Don't spike the ball. You're getting hammered. Just catch it. Move on.
Tony caught his 3rd right there. And earlier last week in the game at San Diego became the 2nd fastest tight end in NFL history to catch 300 passes. So he is on a great ride. Extra point is in. An 8-play, 38-yard drive by the Chiefs is capped off by Trent Green's 9th touchdown pass of the season. It's to Tony Gonzalez.
It was the mountains and the snow and the water below. Are you ready? And you will know it's cold at last when the Coors Light hits your glass. Are you ready for a cold one? Are you ready for a cold Coors Light? Are you ready? Are Are you ready for a cold Coors Light? Are you ready for a cold one?
Me and Joel are a lot like the new back seat's supposed to be.
Yeah.
We're like a 60-40 split. Look, I'm 40. You can put me down.
Right.
Joel stays up.
I stay up.
Or you can put me up.
And then I go down.
Space camp for your daughter, priceless. Grand Prix lessons for your dad, priceless. A celebrity chef for your sister, priceless. Getting them something that wasn't on their list, priceless. Use your MasterCard to win 5 priceless gifts, including an African safari. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
I heard that the new model is way more spacious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Because I was just thinking, like, hey, well, what if I gain 500 pounds?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah. I mean, you never know when glandular thing's going to kick in.
You never know.
Tonight, CBS presents the I Love Lucy 50th Anniversary Special with never-before-seen footage and a countdown to the top 10 funniest episodes. Join Cher, Dick Van Dyke, Whoopi Goldberg, plus many more for an all-star tribute to TV's best comedy. You can't miss the I Love Lucy 50th Anniversary Special, CBS tonight.
Chiefs got a touchdown pass to Tony Gonzalez. Watch the onside kick now by Kansas City. The Jets have been burned 3 times in the last 5 games. But not here. Peterson will kick it deep. Craig East, number 1 in the NFL in returning kickoffs. Gets a block from Beck. Cuts back in. Bells are slowed him down. And then reserve fullback Jermaine Williams is the one to finally douse it. 26-yard return. To the sideline we go in Beasley Reese.
Thanks a lot, guys. Wayne Corbett has been pulled from this game. It is a coach's decision. He has a slightly bruised shoulder. If the game was a little closer, he could go back in, but he's been taken out, and he will not take part in this next series. Back to you.
Thank you. I'm wondering why Vinny Testaverde hasn't been pulled with a 27-7 lead. And a quick glance on the field right now. They've got Lamont Jordan in there, and so indeed Curtis Martin is out, I'm guessing, for the rest of the game with 3 rushing touchdowns, over 100 yards on the ground. Lamont Jordan is in, taking the place of Martin. Testaverde remains from the 30, 1st and 10. Fake handoff to him. It goes off to Coles. Running outside, met by Crockett, forced out of bounds. And he's got a New York Jet first down, 11-yard gain by Lavernius Coles, who carries the ball for a 6th time this season.
You know, when you look at the NFC East, this division really is wacko for sure. But I'm not so sure that the New York Giants aren't headed down and the New York Jets headed up. New York fans may see a reversal going on here.
Giants play against Arizona today. Redskins have won 3 in a row.
Man, and after, I mean, horrible start.
42-yard line for Testaverde. First down and 10. A fake to Jordan. Nice deceptive move by Testaverde. Throws to his tight end. The tumbling Becks, who gets it at about the 43, a gain of 14 yards. He had dropped the last pass thrown his way. Catches a 24th reception of the season right there and gives the Jets a first down.
The tumbling Beck. All right, how about the tumbling NFC Central over here with the Vikings and Detroit down at the bottom of the tank?
Tampa Bay doesn't impress me.
No, not at all here. I tell you what, these 2 teams right here, that's pretty good stuff right there. That's the NFL. That's football.
And they're playing right now.
Yeah.
Under 8 to play here in the 4th quarter. From the Chiefs 44, 1st and 10 for the Jets. The pitch out to Jordan, a pulling block by Mawai. And a tackle made by Cadrez after a gain of 3 to the 42. In the West, the St. Louis Rams came in here and steamrolled the Jets a couple weeks ago, and they're doing the same in the West, although San Francisco is only a game away.
I get a feeling that New Orleans and Atlanta will play spoiler roles. They're spoiled rotten down here. In St. Louis and San Francisco, they'll be 2 playoff teams with the Rams winning that division.
Steve Mariucci has done a great job in San Francisco. The 49ers came in here and won on a Monday night. 2nd down along 7 on the Kansas City 42. Play action fake going deep, looking for Swain, and intercepted on the play by Warfield. His 3rd interception of the season. And Vinny Testaverde throws his 6th pick of the year. They're going for Kevin Swain. Jets turn it over for the 2nd time this afternoon.
November 12th.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
A new chapter will begin.
Waiting in.
November 12th.
I know. I got what you call ants in your pants.
November 12th, baby.
Yeah, no, I really do have ants in my pants. There's a lot of ants around here.
You should get some spray.
How safe is your retirement plan? Sun America can help. Just ask your financial advisor. Sun America, the retirement specialist.
Mr. Kenny, hi, how are you feeling? The office just got these, and I thought you could use one. It's not just a cell phone, it's Nextel with Direct Connect, a digital two-way radio. Look, you just push one button, and we're connected. Which means you never have to leave messages. You know, like the one I left you about the elevator being out.
With ordinary cell phones, you leave messages, but with Nextel Direct Connect, you get right through.
Americans have places to go, things to do, so they go Midas. Alignment, we do that. Air conditioning, we do that. Brakes, we do that. So for total car care by certified technicians, who does it all? Midas, we do that.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Be you, nothing's better. Dr. Pepper. And by Sun America, the retirement specialist.
Vinny Testaverde has just thrown his first 4th quarter interception in his last 95 pass attempts, dating back to last year. And on the turnover, the Chiefs run Priest Holmes up the middle. And he is taken down near the 27, close to a first down, close to a gain of 10. And there's no huddle now because the Chiefs need to move the ball and move the chains. They do get a first down just beyond their 26. Green moving up. Abraham knocked the ball away, and that sets up the sack by Mo Lewis. That's the 3rd sack today by the Jets. Lewis gets his 2nd of the season, but John Abraham was the guy that triggered the play.
A lot of speed out there, a lot more confidence. You're just seeing the 2nd-year player really come into his own.
2nd down, 13, back at the 23 for Green. Nice pocket to set, throws a pass, deflected and incomplete. He had a couple receivers there, Michael Ricks and Derek Alexander. St. Louis romping on Carolina.
So is Marshall Faulk.
Yes. As he does to everybody, the Cowboys. Ryan Leaf threw a touchdown pass in that Dallas game.
How about Troy Hamrick subbing for Emmitt Smith with over 100 yards?
Isn't that so? 6:12 remaining in the 4th quarter here. I've got an interesting note on that last AFC East road win for the Chiefs.
You always do.
3rd and 13. Shotgun snap. They're getting out now to running back Priest Holmes. It was like a pinball bouncing off of one Jets defender after another. Jamie Henderson finally brought him down for no gain. The Chiefs last won here 27-3 in 1992. That was the Dennis Byrd game. Remember Dennis Byrd had a severely injured spinal cord? We were happy to report, as most New Yorkers know, but he was living in Oklahoma, running a foundation, walking without the assistance of a cane. That was also the last year, 1992, that the late Marty Glickman used to broadcast the New York Jets. And he was and still is a legend in this business. The kick, Chad Morton, first return today from the 35, dancing around. They can't get by the side-swiping Chiefs special teams. Monty Beisel down there along with Larry Parker. 42-yard punt. Tonight on 60 Minutes, what was it that caused the nightmares that terrified New York's tough-as-nails police commissioner? Let him tell you tonight on 60 Minutes, followed by Oscar winner Richard Dreyfuss in the new hit series, The Education of Max Bickford. Then celebrate America's all-time favorite comedy. Don't miss I Love Lucy 50th anniversary special tonight, all on CBS. Testaverde remains. Martin is on the sideline. On the 35, 1st and 10. The handoff to Gerald Sewell, who burrows his way for 2, setting up 2nd down and 8. Just his 4th carry of the year and his 9th carry in the last 3 seasons. He's a demon on special teams for the Jets.
What a difference it is in the whole makeup of a game whenever Curtis Martin leaves. The offensive line, the rhythm that they have with Martin in the backfield is impressive. And of course, that's why he's leading the NFL in rushing. But they have a real bright upside, the New York Jets. The fact that they are coming together and starting to develop as a team in Herm Edwards' new system.
2nd down and 8 outside the 37-yard line for Testaverde. The handoff goes to Lamont Jordan. Brought down by Derek Ransom, his first tackle today, a gain of 2. And he's out to the 39-yard line. Well, the Jets will take on Miami next week. 7 consecutive New York wins over the Dolphins.
That's a big game, and plus, you know, they just won on the road at New Orleans against a good opponent, so I know they'll have confidence. And it's always a good game when you play against the Patriots, and you know, there's no layup. There's no layup at all. But the Jets, when I was talking about the upside, the first half at 5-3, really not playing that well. This might be an indication that they're coming around.
3rd down 6, 39-yard line of New York, leading 27-7. Draw play handoff to Lamont Jordan, just wise to hold on to the ball. Rookie Eric Downing, 79, kind of clogged up the middle. A loss of 4 in the play, and the Chiefs quickly call a timeout. With 3:52 to play, now they've got 1 timeout remaining. A look at Derek Ransom. Starter all season, late pick out of Cincinnati. Well, the relationship between Herm Edwards and Dick Vermeil goes back many years to high school when Vermeil recruited Herm Edwards in the state of California. 10 years he played for the Eagles. And even then, Carl Peterson, the current Chiefs general manager, who was an assistant on that team and later assistant general manager for the Eagles, and Dick Vermeil knew that Herman Edwards would someday be a head coach. He comes from Tampa Bay, the assistant head coach with Tony Dungy, defensive back coach. But he got his start in pro football as a coach and a scout with the Chiefs in 1990.
You know what was funny, though, in the story, when there are many parts that were funny, but whenever he said, hey, the Eagles flew me in on first class, and I signed with them for $7,500, and then they put me in the back of the bus to fly back to California and home.
Tupa into the wind, picked up by Dante Hall, breaks a tackle of Henderson, and is tripped up nicely, landing at about the 38-yard line, tripped up by the guy that centered the ball, James Durth. 44-yard punt, 16-yard return. The Chiefs have a bye next week, so they have some time off. Then they take on Seattle and Arrowhead. The Eagles come to Arrowhead, then that December 9th game at Oakland.
Yeah, this game right here, this could really have an impact. The Eagles game, that's a dangerous. Anytime somebody goes to play at Kansas City, they're going to eventually figure it out playing at home, because they traditionally have been a very good home team.
Chiefs have 1 timeout. 2-minute offense you'll see displayed here beginning at their 39 after the punt by the Jets. 1st down and 10. Ball bobbled, and it was caught unknown. Incomplete pass. It was never reeled in by Tony Richardson. Good call, incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Jets looking for their 5th win in the last 6 games after they started the season 1-2.
And selfishly on their part, Ted Cottrell, the defensive coordinator, would like to see his defense finish strong right here just from a statistical standpoint. So they have to stop answering questions about how they're this or that low in the standings in terms of stats.
2nd down 10 from the 39. Shotgun snap by Wegman, bobbled by Trent Green, throws a quick dart ahead of him to Richardson, who moves the chains up to about the 43-yard line, a gain of 5 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 5.
I don't think anybody really felt like the Jets would blow these guys out today, 27-7.
I know the Chiefs did.
No.
4th quarter continues to tick. The Chiefs have a timeout remaining from the 44, 3rd down and 5. Green winding up, goes down the middle, wobbly pass, and was it picked off by Mickens? Incomplete. Incomplete pass. Green has already thrown 3 picks today. It's got to be frustrating for him. His efficiency rating last year with the St. Louis Rams in limited play was very good. 16 touchdown passes, 5 interceptions.
they're really hurting at the wide receiver position. If this team had some wideouts that practiced, that got to understand the routes, the playbook, with Tony Gonzalez at tight end and Priest Holmes running, they would be a good offensive team.
Going forward on 4th and 5 from the 44. Here goes Green, firing a pass, incomplete, thrown back to the receiver, Larry Parker. So on downs, it'll go to the New York Jets. And my assumption is they will sit on the ball, let the clock run down, and that is the ball game. The Jets have won 3 in a row, and they've looked good doing it. Carolina, New Orleans, and this week against the Chiefs at home. And tonight on 60 Minutes, what was it that caused the nightmares that terrified New York's tough-as-nails police commissioner? Let him tell you tonight on 60 Minutes.
Tough to take a knee whenever you're still 2:58 to go in the 4th quarter. They'll have to run it and stop these guys.
Testaverde handing off to Lamont Jordan, the rookie, following a block by Gerald Soule. Advances the ball to the 41, picks up 4, brought down by Donnie Edwards and by Norris McCleary. Chiefs do have a timeout to use. This will be one of the fastest games played in the NFL this season. So it's 2nd down and 6 just outside the Kansas City 40-yard line. Big day for Curtis Martin. 3 touchdown runs, over 100 yards on the ground. Handoff to Jordan, again following Soule, grabbed by Marcus Patton. And he is piled on at the 40-yard line for little or no gain. That will take us to the 2-minute warning. Well, now you can say with all certainty the New York Jets are legitimate playoff contenders. A big day by Curtis Martin. They're buzzsawing the Chiefs 27-7.
There's a light in your soul that says you're one of a kind. Don't never let it go. Be original, an individual, like Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. There's nothing better. Be you, do what you do.
You know, I heard that the new front end has a really aggressive look. Like the grill is like.
Wow.
That's going to look good.
Yeah, that looks good. I want it right now.
Yeah.
Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals?
Go! No.
Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue. Man, that dude's awesome. Get Selsun Power.
So warm. So ancient. So free. And so close. Come and discover a world of possibilities. Mexico, closer than ever.
A crime scene in the sandbox. A clue in the victim.
Got a pair of saline leads.
A case that starts out weird turns into murder with a kink.
Welcome to Lady Heather's Dominion. There's one thing you learn on this job, is that human beings are capable of anything.
All new CSI, CBS Thursday after Survivor.
Look at the East standings. We're going to go ahead and give them the win. They're 6-3 right now. Miami hanging on to a close nail-biter against the Indianapolis Colts.
7 minutes remain in that game at the RCA Dome. 3rd down and 6 from the 40. Flag is tossed. Lamont Jordan, a big game last week in New Orleans. Rumbles for a 1st down, getting a block downfield from Hatchett and from offensive lineman Ryan Young. An 18-yard gain, but the flag is down at about the line of scrimmage. And they've got 26-24 on that score right there. We had 27-24. We'll have, now it's 27-24. Thank you.
Number 75, defense. The penalty is declined. We'll take the result of play. 1st down.
New England's going to win, it looks like, against the Buffalo Bills and go to 5-4 with Tom Brady as their quarterback.
Tom Brady, a man named Brady. We found out a man named Shane here today. How about that score there, 12-all?
Terrific game between the Browns and the Steelers. Jacksonville going to stop a slide.
The Jets today, their offense, 62 plays, 62 snaps, 36 of those have been in the Kansas City Chiefs territory.
Down to the Kansas City 22, and a timeout taken by Vinny Testaverde, who's going to complain to Tom White that they did not reset the play clock. And you can see the upset Vinny Testaverde trying to get a point across. The Jets have had no penalties today, and no sacks allowed on Vinny.
All right, let's go ahead and update the West then for you. We'll give the Chiefs a loss. They are 2-7. Seattle at 3-4.
Chiefs have not been 2-7 since 1987, when their coach was Frank Gans, taking the place of John Makovic, who the previous year had taken the team to the playoffs in 1986. A game they lost here against the Jets in Giant Stadium.
And you know, you really have to keep in mind here as we enter this second half run of the season that all of the teams who have new coaching staffs and or new quarterbacks, new offensive systems, to watch their progress to see how much they develop and become better down the backstretch.
It's down in 10 from the 22 for Vinny Testaverde after he took the timeout. Lamont Jordan gets by Downing and then flies into the Kansas City secondary, picking up 11 yards down to about the 11. The executive producers of the NFL on CBS are Sean McManus and Terry Ewert. Coordinating director of the NFL on CBS, Larry Cavallina. Today's game produced by Bob Dekas, directed by Mark Grant. Mark, we're happy to see you after you directed the Georgia football game yesterday down in Athens.
Double dipper.
The senior producer of the NFL Today, Eric Mann. Director Bob Matina. Coordinating producer of CBS Sports, Harold Bryant. The associate director of today's game is J. Brian Lilly. The broadcast associate, Andrew Kaplan. Technical manager, Dan Barron. Guys, thank you very much. Our statistician, Pat McGrath.
Hurry up, Vinny.
Is down in 10 from the 12. Will go to a knee. What about Herman Edwards? All these first-year coaches, and he is the guy sitting on top of the pack. Now it's 6-3.
And he said he had a lot of comfort in watching, not say comfort, in seeing how Marty Schottenheimer struggled. Dick Vermeil is struggling. That they've struggled in new systems. And so he knew that, hey, it's no big deal. It's going to take time to adjust. So he didn't freak out. He didn't panic as a head coach.
He is a vibrant personality, a breath of fresh air, and extremely organized. He was almost hired by the Kansas City Chiefs before they went after Vermeil. He interviewed with Carl Peterson, and they were just amazed by how thorough he was in his preparation. And this is like father and son meeting. Everything Herman Edwards has accomplished, he is dedicated to Dick Vermeil, and the hug says it all. They're warm, close friends last year. These two spent a lot of time during vacation together, and a very disappointing loss for Vermeil. Vinny Testaverde was helped today by his running back, Curtis Martin. The Jets rushed for 174 yards. Martin had 113 of those and 3 touchdowns. Technically, with the Miami game still going on, the Jets are in first place in the East. Jim Nantz and crew coming up next. Now for Beasley Reese and Craig James. Kevin Harlan saying so long from Giant Stadium. The Jets win it 27-7.